Ian, we have a
Patreon.com/CU podcast. Just make sure you go and put down a little money, little cabbage.
Jesus Christ, Ian.
Yeah, so give us the money and get your full video podcast.
I think that works as a marketing ploy. Give us our money.
Your full video podcast.
We get a writing once a week.
Your full video podcast, the writing, poll topics, which we're getting to, hangouts. Hangouts, you get hangouts, and you get bonus bites.
Bonus bites.
Bonus bits. We finally named the bonus podcast at Extra Napkins, Extra Portions. Took us so long to come up with a good name for it. Anyway.
Glad you pumped the other Patreon during ours.
Absolutely.
Great. Working double time.
You've talked a lot about your podcasts.
My podcast? What other podcast?
All 10 of them you do.
Okay, Ian. In second place on the Patreon poll, what's so great about 80s commercials and streaming them? Only 25%. And 75% retro gaming stuff that we have lost.
In regret? Or is it just lost?
Lost to the sands of time, maybe stolen, maybe forgotten about, maybe borrowed, not given back, Ian.
Yeah, the worst example of that for me was my original Genesis collection.
How big of a collection?
I mean, it was like, from when I was a kid, so it was a lot. Big. No. It was probably like, I'd say probably 30 to 40 games complete in their box. My Genesis, 2 controllers. And I had gotten really into playing it a lot again. And I lent it to a friend of mine in high school who was going through some shit.
Okay.
And like he was moving back in with his dad. And so I lent him my Genesis. I was like, hey, I was heavily playing NES at the time. I was jumping in between systems. I was like, I don't need this. Take this. And I remember the bag. I remember how I packed it up. And I gave it to him. And that was the last time I can actually say I had my hands on it. I swear, and this is the main thing I want to point out, I don't think my friend did me dirty. But I also don't know if it's one of those things where like I just created a memory. Because I swear he gave it back to me. Swear to God.
How old were you again?
I was in high school.
High school, okay.
And I seem to remember the conversation even being like, hey, thanks, I didn't really get around to playing this. And like a few months later, he gave me it back. And what I remember was it being in the exact same bag that I had packed everything up in. Everything was still nice and neat in there. Like basically he had taken it, didn't use it, was like, hey, thanks, but like shit's too hectic right now, and gave it back to me. So I remember getting it back the exact way that I lost it. And I have never seen it again. I've torn that house up and down. Anywhere it could be in that house, it would have been discovered at this point. And I have no idea whatever happened to it. And yeah, I don't know. It just sucked. I had a lot of really good Genesis shit just from being into like shooters and stuff at the time that I, ended up losing. Stuff that's not, entirely impossible to get back, but stuff that was, fairly expensive. Like that can be more expensive now, like Granada and what they called on the Genesis, Airbuster.
Okay.
Aero fighters. So I didn't have like a Musha or anything like that, but I had like Streets of Rage 1 through 3, which right now
a couple $100 worth of games, maybe.
Yeah, a few $100 worth of games. I mean, at the time, honestly, I probably could have gone to the flea market and rebought everything for $250.
Okay,
at max.
Oh, $250 then. So now it's a lot more. Okay.
Oh yeah, so it'd be a lot more now. But yeah, no, that's probably like the one time I lost. I truly like lost something video game related and have regretted it, especially because like I can't in good conscience be like my dumb friend, because I swear to God that my friend returned it to me.
Where did you put it?
I have no fucking clue. None.
Did you like do something while on a high school acid trip? You like do something weird with it? Buried it?
No.
I don't know.
Nope.
Didn't trade it in for anything? No.
I have no clue.
Trade it for what was the story? Who said they traded?
And there is always the opportunity. There is always the chance that maybe he didn't give it back to me, and I'm just remembering it wrong. And it wasn't malicious. Like that, I liked that dude, but like he had a weird life. Like he probably just up and moved. You know, he could have up and moved. But yeah,
You don't want to call him like, hey, listen, did you really give those back to me when I was 16 years old?
yeah, don't know. What about you?
Well, I tore my place apart. I think I told you a week and a half ago. I have the complete in box. I have the Vectrex 3D Imager, the 3D headset. And when I got it, it had there's two 3D wheels. There's one for the coaster game and the other game. There's only 3 games of the Imager. And the one that came with it was 3D Mindstorm. It has its own wheel. When I got that, I don't know where I bought it. I forget it. I got a good deal on it, though. The 3D wheel in it was for the other 2 games, which I don't own. So it did not have the one that came with it. I spent years looking on eBay for just someone selling the wheel. And I finally got it for like $60, $50. And I had it, and I put it in a little CD, like white sleeve, you know, paper sleeve. And I had it next to my computer for like the last 3 years. Until I looked and it was not there a couple of weeks ago. So now it was like, you know, I get when I lose things, I go nuts because it's never off my mind.
No, I do too. If I lose
nuts.
if I lose a game in like my collection, I lost a game in my PC Engine collection,
that. You asked if I
and
had it.
I
Yeah.
didn't buy games for the PC Engine for like 2.5 years until I found a disc-only copy of that and fixed the wrong.
I don't go that crazy. But
I
still
was nuts.
Okay.
About that.
So I have that disc because I bought on eBay specifically to pair. And the problem was I didn't know where in my garage the 3D Imager was, in a box in my garage. So like it was never put together. So I don't know where the 3D disc is right now. I own it. I don't think I threw it out, but I don't know where it is. And it might be within 5 feet of me. I just don't know where it is. I have to do like sort of pat logic in my head. Okay, where would I have put the disc as a safe holding spot? Before you say, hey, Pat, you put it with your Vectrex games. I didn't. I was like, because I didn't. I put it somewhere else, which doesn't make any sense. So that is the latest one that's bothering me. Outside of that, though, I've told this story before. When I did the move from Jersey, and I had it was a seedy fucking moving company from Bayonne that did it. That tried to they got me for a little more money, but I kind of expected that. I read stories like, oh, they're going to say it weighs more in the thing and charge you more by the weight. So whatever, they got an extra $500 out of me. Whatever, I still save versus United Movers, the big conglomerate one. So everything arrived pretty well. There's some scratches on my the living room table I used to have, the glass one.
Yeah.
Except for one box, and I had a list of the boxes. I had a list of boxes.
Okay.
The one box that didn't arrive, a smaller box that was on, I could have threw it in my fucking car. Looking back, I could have put it in my car when my car was transported across the U.S. I should have done that. The one box had my original plush DK and DK Juniors, the one that showed up in the early videos, the little claspy hand one. I could replace the other one. It took me years to find the clasp Donkey Kong Jr. replacement. And when I got it, it was like the colors were worn. It wasn't the same colors anymore, the one I had, and it was in a lot worse shape. Pat took care of his DKs when he was a kid. Won those on the Jersey Shore. So if anyone out there has the claspy hands DK Jr. in better condition than the one I have, let me know. So I lost that. I also, in that same box, this is a small box. Well, this is a small box.
Oh, buddy.
I had that PowerFest hat up there that you can find at Nintendo PowerFest hat 94.
Yeah.
I also had, though, the Bomberman Duo hat.
Oh, that's right.
The Turbo Duo hat.
That is right.
The cream-colored one. You ever see a picture of that before? At the time, that was worth only, I think I bought it for $30-40. You can't find one, though. Then I used to see them elsewhere. They were like $200, $250. I never pulled the trigger. Looking back, I should have just got it to replace it. Never replaced it. It's like a cream beige colored hat. Bomberman, it's called, I think it's Bomberman Duo, the hat. I think it's what it's called. Or just Bomber, whatever. So there was that in there, too. So that has been replaced. 2 things have been replaced, technically, because I never got the claspy hand DK that was the same quality of that. And then there's this. This might have bothered me the most, besides the losing my childhood plush things, because I got at least the one back immediately. The Nintendo Power cassette that came with Nintendo Cereal. Nintendo Cereal did about 5-6 giveaways. They did the mini Bagatelles that were inside the packages. They did the hologram T-shirt you mailed away for that I still haven't bought because I'm not paying $1,000 for. I'm just not. This was a mail-away item, though. I centered a whole... Whoa, almost dropped it. I centered a whole NES Punk episode around this in the tape. I was the first, I'd say, to digitally preserve this in high quality. There's only a couple on YouTube recordings, and this is high quality. And It has like I think Ikari Warriors on here. It has Continue on Super Mario Brothers, and of course, infamously, if you watch my video, the last code is Mike Tyson. Except they did the code wrong. It's not the code.
Oh, right.
It's not
yes,
the code.
yes, that's right.
Like the instructions are wrong. It's just not the code. There's about 15 different, not even 15 different codes on here. It's only like 15 minutes long. There's a cool little beat at the beginning. I lost this and went nuts because like to me it was like, oh, I want to preserve this stuff, and now I lost it because when I bought this at the time, it was like a weird. I think I saw. Did I see this on eBay? Did I tell you how I bought this? Was this eBay or private deal?
I think it was.
It might have been eBay.
I think it was eBay. Honestly,
I found it by accident on eBay. I didn't know it existed. And I never seen it or heard it. I never saw it in a convention ever. And I've been to, I want to say 80 conventions. I have never seen this besides my own copy. So when I lost it, I went absolutely nuts. And I let it be known that I lost it. I think it might have been on the podcast.
yeah.
I lost it. And then someone found it at a used music and movie store in Minnesota. Said, hey, Pat, they have it here. I was like, okay, I'll give you money to buy it and ship it to me. And I did that, and they shipped it. They helped me out. That's how I got it again. Otherwise, like I said, I had this on a saved search. I think I still have it operational, and it never comes up on the save search on eBay. Nintendo Power Cassette. It never comes up.
So yeah,
they might have mailed out 20 of these to kids, like 100.
yeah. Who fucking knows,
Like
right?
the number's so small. But I'm so happy that I don't know if there was an actual cover you got with it, or they just put this in a mailer maybe and just shipped it out, you know. So that's the big one to me. So hey, if anyone has the little Class B mini DK Jr., I think it's class onto like a pencil or like it's a clasp onto like DK Jr.'s arm or whatever, please let me know. They're also originally when they came out with that DK Plus, one of the versions had a cage with it too. I've never seen it on the boardwalk. I have never seen that in person. I actually had a little black cage. So if anyone has that stuff, let me know. I have a reward for that, even if you find it. Information leading to the acquiring of those items. Oh, Ian drifts off in the distance and looks at Meredith Baxter Burney stuff.
No Meredith Baxter Burney.
So yeah, that's about the stuff that I lost. And I'm not as crazy as I was for it in the past, but it still bothers me.
Yeah, no.
It's always bad to lose something that like it's around and doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
It should be here.
It's like a piece of your mind gone, basically, or like your mind's not functioning because to this day you'll be asked like, what happened to your PC Engine game? I remember you going nuts. You asked me, hey Pat, what happened? I was like, I don't think you brought it over.
I will still, I still have no idea where it would be.
PC Engine Gnome's got it.